Hey there, welcome in creatives and makers. I wanted to offer another free gift. We're working really hard on a project that's coming together with all kinds of fun secret stuff. We've been dumpster diving, looking through trashes, and creating. Come on along. I realized I said that I had shown how to do watercolor stamping, and I hadn't. So I'm going to real quick how these lovely things are done. So I'm going to show you on several different kinds of paper. So I have various stamps that are fun. This is like a spilled coffee. I love dots. I love this bicycle. I did a lot of those before. Random lines and dots. I love just random marks, big blotches, really fun textures, some floral. I really love this jar done in the watercolor because it looks really watery and like an actual jar. And then a big space filler if you want use larger stamps. These are all, you guessed it, thrifted. I have water, a napkin, a plate for a little bit of mixing, flat paint brushes that can hold a lot of water because this is very watery. And then these watercolors are $5, or at least they were when I bought them at Walmart. And they work great. You can use a plate or you can use all these different little mixing wells. I'm only going to use a few of the colors. I'm going to keep my colors to a minimum. I'm using blue, gray, kind of a green chartreuse, really basic, maybe a light brown gray, but very few colors. And then I'm going to show you quick. So I'm going to be stamping on some envelopes, insides, outsides. I hope you all love the crunchy goodness as much as I do. I'm going to do the outside of that since it's so dark. And I wanted to show you on a construction paper, white, old book page, another old book page, a piece of deli paper. And with deli paper, one side is shinier than the other. You want to be stamping on the, you can feel it too. You can see it and you can feel it. So we'll be stamping on this side, and I'm not even sure this will work. This is handmade paper. It's super fibery, cottony. It's not sealed at all. It'll probably go all the way through, and I'm not sure how it will even work. And just some fun old drafting or office supply paper, and this is plain copy paper. First on the copy paper, and I'm going to get color up close. I'm going to do a big print first, the big one. So get my brush really wet, start to make a puddle, pick a color, and I think I'll do this green. So I just want a really watery puddle. So you can do it as dark or light as you want. These colors have not been activated. I could have sprayed them with the spray bottle. They were completely dry to start with. Well, that looks pretty good. We'll try it. I think I'll get more color. And this is just going to puddle on top because these are just rubbery stamps. But you want to go really flat and just touch the surface. It's already puddling up, but it'll spread out when I set it down. And there it is, and it's really, really watery, and I love that. So it's kind of a perfectly imperfect, shabby image. There's a little bit left on there, and that didn't do much of a print, but so I'll just go set this someplace. I'll just set this on the floor to dry. Okay, now let's do this other paper and a smaller stamp. That'll be too busy for that. Let's do something like this, and let's do a blue. I probably don't even need to make a puddle anywhere. I'm getting a puddle. I'm not positive how this is going to turn out. I haven't done this one before. Pretty cool. We're not going for a perfect stamp impression. But we're getting a little bit of the detail. But I think these will be gorgeous. So that's interesting. It started to mix with some of the color that had been on the stamp. So it became a gray blue. Let's try this one. If you didn't really care about the print on your stamp, you could actually rough that up with an emery board or a sanding block just a little bit and get more surface. So I like that. I'll do it one more time. I got more. I'm probably going to get a couple out of this because this is really juicy. So it'll be soupy and then maybe less. I love this blue. Ooh, that's neat. And we'll try one more. Pretty fun. So these can be torn up or just folded into book pages or whatever you would like. Let's try a different stamp. Let's try the jar. I'm going to do it on a book page. And I'm going to do it in blue because it looks watery when it's in blue. And then you might, you could get a little more pigment and kind of go over some of the edges, and that'll give it a more random watery amount. Isn't that beautiful? Because it really looks like water. Like glass. I mean, water and glass. So every single one is different. It's really neat when you do, if you have stamps that are faces, because no two are alike. And when they dry, they're even better. I might as well do another one. Right? Better and better as they dry. So neat. So I'll set that to dry. Let's try some deli paper. I have a feeling it will kind of resist. I'll put this underneath to see it better. We'll do some of the, we'll make it look like coffee spill, or should we make it look like wine? Let's do some Cabernet, an oops Cabernet spill. It's a little pinky. It's a, maybe it'll be more like a rosé. Not so great on the tissue. It'll probably dry neat. We'll do some on this paper. It's like handmade paper. And these are different sided too. I'm gonna try this side. It has more texture. Ooh, that's fun. And I'll do one really, really watery and let it kind of splash. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, I love the messy water. Let's do that again. Didn't splash so much. I'm gonna do some that are brown like coffee. Coffee spill. Needs to be pretty dark. Black coffee. Cool. Get it a little wetter. All right. So that's on the handmade-ish paper, and that's really pretty. So those can be taken apart, or this can be folded into a page that will pretty much fit what we need. That is fun. Here's the jars more dry. It just gets better and better. Let's try a floral. I don't think this has ever even been used. It's not mounted. I could put it on. In fact, I'm gonna try to rough it up a little bit and see if it can get a little more. Sticky. Hold a little more of the, so that wasn't much, but it should. It looks like it's holding more than others. Ooh, that's pretty. And then you could combine things. If we do this with a little bit of blue, some of the really pretty blue here. This one, which I'm also going to give a little more tooth because I can, right? It's a free country. You can do whatever you want with your own thrifted junk. So let's kind of put these together. The blue and the green. Oh, that's a little much. So that's pretty together. Pretend I didn't do that. I like them really faint like that. So maybe one more with this. There. So there's those. Let's do something onto this. Let's see if I can get a really dark blue for something. Do it on this. Ooh, it looks like it's gonna hold good. Wow. That's pretty fun. For some random fun markings somewhere in a book. I like it. Do a little bit more of that. We're to the envelopes now. I'm just going to go ahead and put this here. That didn't do much. Pretty messy and imperfect, but that's me. Let me do a little green on this and see if I like that. I'm going to do this beautiful bicycle. And I think I'll oh. Ooh, I love it. I'm gonna do several of those. So you can play with how wet, how messy, how perfect. I don't even know why I thought of the emery board to rough it up, but it definitely gives it more tooth to hold the pigment. Oh wow, that's beautiful on that gray-ish grid. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my word. And the more they dry, the more they soak in, the more beautiful. Okay, let's see if I need one more bite. Maybe change up the color a little. Maybe I'll make it a little more dark blue. Ooh, that's a lot. We'll see. Might have to do a couple with this. It's pretty loaded. Maybe I can tap some off. That'll be pretty. That'll be okay. Different for sure. I'm gonna get another pull off of this. How beautifully they dry. Oh. So you can do a pretty detailed stamp. Let's get a, that's too busy. Let's do it on this side. Let's do it turn it this way. I keep forgetting that I'm using pages that are folded this way. Not bad. Maybe in the book, this will be folded up. Ooh. I almost think I could get another pull off of this. So let's do it on this paper that is like construction paper, white paper. I'm gonna get it a little wet again. At this point, you could spritz the stamp with a water spray bottle to get a watery look with less pigment. Or spritz the actual print that you make on the page. I love it. That's kind of a Payne's gray. The blue and the kind of dark brown black. So we've done all of these except for this, which I'm going to. This is a lot of detail. Need a new color. I think I'm just gonna do gray since there's so much detail to that. So I'm doing some dark. It is kind of a gray, and I'm getting into the white a little bit too. Then I'll get it pretty wet in the water. There's all kinds of detail in this. Spilled coffee and everything. Ledger paper. So this will probably be a messy one. Let's go this way. And then again with less. That'll probably be really pretty when it dries, even though it doesn't look too hot now. A little bit more. So they're all different, no two alike. Not much there. Maybe I'll do it again. Not much. So we'll see which one dries the prettiest. I'm voting for this one so far. And these are beautiful. Such a pretty Payne's gray color. And then remember, whenever you have some fun color left in your brush, ooh, that's fun. All right, we did all of the stamps and all of the different papers. So Walmart $5 watercolors. This is a Walmart brush. This wide one is at Walmart. And this is in a set that was from Walmart. So a nice flat brush. And there's one. Another. That's my favorite. That's gonna be so fun. And this pretty light blue color. This could end up being folded like that. Still wet. Some of the random marking. These are pretty. I like the really subtle ones. I just love the watery look. I love how these dried. And these are too much fun because you can stamp some pretty watercolory flowers and stems. You can cut a little slit in here. You could add a water line if you wanted somewhere. But you can stick stamped watercolory flowers into the jar. So this is fun. I really like these. I just adore the watery look. So these are kind of fun because you get more pigment where it doesn't just soak in. So that is the watercolor stamping. Enjoy. Be sure to subscribe and share. I would hate for you and your friends to miss out on all that's coming up. The next tutorial and this. Oh, and don't forget that I sell fun kits in my Etsy shop for making all of these wonderful things. I'll link it. Stay creative and curious. Thank you for joining. See you soon.